So today's topic is rectifier circuit. So I hope all of you have the idea of this rectifier, right? So if we categorize this rectifier, then we are having two types of rectifier. One is half wave rectifier and that is full wave rectifier. Okay. And that is full wave. Okay. This full wave are of two kind. One is center tapped and there is bridge rectifier. Bridge rectifier. Okay. So first we are going to go with all the derivations what we have on the half wave rectifier. So we supposed to start our topic with half wave rectifier. So what is this half wave rectifier? It is an electronic, you can say electrical device, better it is to say an electrical device which offers a low resistance to the current in one direction but a high resistance to the current in the opposite direction. So that is what all about a rectifier. Okay. So a rectifier, it is a device which offers a low resistance to the current in a particular direction, let us consider in one direction, but a high resistance to the current in opposite direction. That is what all about the rectifier. So what is the purpose of using those rectifier? Such device is capable of converting a sinusoidal input waveform whose average value is 0. We know that for a sinusoidal input or sinusoidal signal, we know its average value is 0 because it is having the equal amplitude in both positive side as well as negative side. So if a sinusoidal input or sinusoidal signal is having peak amplitude of 5 volt, so we can take that 5 volt is equally available in the positive side as well as in the negative side. What does it mean? It is having the peak voltage that is plus 5 volt as well as minus 5 volt. So if we do the average, then this average will become 0. So what is the purpose of using this rectifier? Rectifier used to convert this sinusoidal input which is having average value 0 into a unidirectional waveform with a non-zero average component, Okay. So this is all about the rectifier. We know all those things. So the first circuit, it is our half wave rectifier. So this half wave rectifier, it is having a transformer where the input signal is connected with the primary of the transformer and the secondary of the transformer is connected with the diode and a load. So if you draw the circuit diagram for this, this is the diode and a load is connected with the diode. So this side we are having our AC input. The voltage across the secondary wind of the transformer, let us consider this voltage is VI. Okay. We know if the diode is available for conduction, it is having a voltage drop across this diode that is known as knee voltage, because after the knee voltage only we will have the conduction from the diode. So we can say in the forward direction, if this is in the forward direction, that is from anode to cathode, if the conduction is available, then it will have certain voltage drop. Let us consider this side, it is positive according to the direction of the current, then we can say this voltage is V gamma. Let us consider this voltage drop. Then the current is flowing in this way, because this is the only way that the diode allow the current to flow. Then we will have the drop across this load resistance RL, and let us consider this voltage across this load, it is given by V naught. So if we go with the diagram or plot of the input signal which is available in this diode circuit and the output which is available across this load. So let us consider we are having the sinusoidal input, like this. It is having the peak value, let us consider it is Vm. These are the different phase of the signal. It is 3 pi, 4 pi, like this. This is omega t is equals to alpha. Now if we are going to find out what is the output available for this kind of input, let us consider the output in terms of current. Why? I will tell you why I am just considering the current here, though we have been plotted the voltage waveform as the input. So for this we will have only the half of the input as a output. So we will have, let us consider for this kind of circuit, this is the first half, this is another half, and like this. If it is going like this, and we will have other signals. So this is the value, it is Im, maximum current which is available at the output. So current which is available at the output, that has been flowing across this load RL. 0, pi, it is twice pi, it is 3 pi, it is 4 pi, like this alpha. So this is all about the operations which gives us the indication what are the different output been available for this half wave rectifier. Okay, this is the input output plot of the half wave rectifier. Okay, now let us do the analysis. What will be the different mathematical expressions we are supposed to find out for this half wave rectifier? Now since in a rectifier circuit the input Vi, the input which is available across the secondary winding of the transformer, that is Vm sin omega t, which has a peak value Vm, which is this input. It is obviously quite larger than this offset voltage or the knee voltage V gamma, which is very large compared to the offset or knee voltage, our known term knee voltage V gamma. Now let us assume for our simplification this V gamma is 0, very very small. So assuming V gamma is equals to 0, the current I, this small I, the current which has been flowing in the diode, this is the current which is flowing, or load RL is, this I is Im sin omega t or alpha, let us consider, or Im sin alpha. So what is the value of this alpha? Where alpha is limited between 0 to pi, because this diode will allow the current to flow only for this positive half, and for the negative half the diode will be switched off. So this limit of this alpha within 0 to pi, and it is 0 for pi to twice pi. In this way will goes on continue. So this is the condition for a single cycle. So once we are having the behavior of a single cycle, we can easily find out the continuous other cycles which have been appearing at the input side. So what is this Im here? Im is the peak voltage across this secondary winding and total resistance of the circuit. So let us consider this diode is having the forward resistance of Rf, due to which it is having a voltage drop of V gamma, Rf plus RL. This is what the current, maximum current which will flowing through this circuit when the diode is switched on. Now let us go with the different meter reading. Meter reading means different components of the current and voltage. So let us find out reading of a DC ammeter. Means simply the DC current, that is what all about. Okay. So what is the function of this DC ammeter? The DC ammeter is basically constructed so that the needle deflection, whenever the meter or the dial is having certain deflection, it indicates the average value of the current, right? Average value of the current passing through it. So simply DC ammeter will indicate the average value of the current. So we know how to find out this average value. Therefore the average value of a periodic function, because this sine signal, it is a periodic function. So average value of a periodic function can be found out by function is given by the area. Try to remember the area of one cycle of the curve divided by the base. Therefore this IDC, it will be 1 by twice pi integration 0 to twice pi, because this is the one cycle from 0 to 2 pi, I d alpha. So for this half wave rectifier, this IDC, it will be 1 by twice pi. The I is available from 0 to pi only. The value of small I, it is Im sin alpha d alpha. It is coming out as Im by pi. Okay, so therefore we can write IDC is equals to Im by pi for half wave rectifier. Next, the reading of AC ammeter. So this meter will indicate the effective or RMS current passing through the or simply passing through the circuit. So we know how to find out this IRMS. I am not at all going with the definition. It is given by the, for a periodic function, it is given by the area of one cycle of the curve, which is represented by the square of the function and divided by the base. So that is what about the RMS value how to find out. So I am just writing this IRMS is equals to 1 by 2s pi integration 0 to 2s pi I square d alpha whole to the power half. So let us find out this value 1 by 2s pi 0 to pi. We are having the current from 0 to pi only. Then it is Im square sin square alpha d alpha whole to the power half. So you just do the calculation, you just complete the intermediate step. For this integration I am just writing the final value. It is coming out as Im by 2. So this IRMS value for this half wave rectifier, it is Im by 2. You just complete this intermediate steps. Okay, this is all about the current. Now let us go with the voltage reading of DC voltmeter. So what is its function? This DC voltmeter will read the average value of the voltage across its terminal. This instrument reads the average value of the voltage across its terminal. Now if this voltage is needed to be measured across the diode, then what we going to measure? We need to measure the instantaneous voltage, because we have been working with the AC input. Okay, if the voltmeter is across the diode, the instantaneous voltage must be measured. Next, when the diode is conducting, it has a resistance RF and the voltage across it is having the resistance RF. So the voltage across it I into RF. Okay. Next, when the diode is non-conducting, now the thing is changed. When the diode was conducting, the current is flowing. So the across this diode, that is the voltage, that is V gamma. It is due to the resistance RF. That is the voltage been coming across the diode. Now when the diode is non-conducting, so what does it mean? The diode is acting as a open switch. So no current will flow across the circuit. So what will be the voltage across this diode? The voltage across this diode will be same as this input. I am just drawing this diagram again. Let us consider this secondary of the transformer. It is having the voltage VI. This diode is switched off, means it is acting as an open switch. It is having this load been connected with that. So no current will flow. That is what the terminal of the diode. Let us consider this is terminal A, it is terminal B. So the current is not flowing since this diode is acting as an open switch. Then what is the voltage been observed across this point A and V? That is VAB. So if we simplify this one, no current is flowing. So we can take out this terminal here only. So this VAB, it is same as the secondary voltage of the transformer. It is clear or not? Just try to understand. Current is not flowing. So the current, as it is not flowing on this circuit, as it is open circuit, so this voltage which has been appearing across the secondary of the transformer, that will be applied across this diode or this open circuit point A and B, open circuit terminal A and B. The current is not flowing, there is no current. So this voltage, it is appearing across this open circuit point. This point is clear or not?
Yes, sir.
Fine. So when the diode is non-conducting, the current is 0 and it is seen that the transformer secondary voltage VI appears across the diode. Thus, the respective voltages what are those voltages? This V, that is the voltage across this diode, and V0. What is that V0? V0 is the load voltage. So V is respective voltage V, it is appearing across the diode, and the load resistance RL. So what does it mean? V, this is the voltage appearing across the diode, this V0, it is the load resistance. So let us go with these voltages. So this V, it is I into RF, which is Im RF sin alpha, when the diode is in the conducting state, that is between 0 to pi, and it is equals to Vm sin alpha when the diode is non-conducting state, is in non-conducting state, that is between pi to 2s pi. So this is the voltage been appearing across the diode. This is the conducting state and that is non-conducting state. Clear up to this? Now under this conducting state and non-conducting state, what are the voltage been observed across the load? That is what we need to find out. This V naught, the voltage across the load. So what will be this voltage under conducting state? This input minus this drop across the diode, right? The input minus this drop, that is what the voltage been appearing across the load under conducting state, that is Vi minus V. That is what the V is, that is Vi is Vm sin alpha and this one is, this V is I into Rf, that is Im Rf sin alpha. So we can write this one as Vm minus Im Rf sin alpha. It is for the conducting state and it is absolutely 0 for non-conducting state. Now let us plot this voltage output, because this is the voltage been observed across the load, that is the output voltage. So now you will find the reason why I have not plotted that initial plot with respect to this voltage. So if we are having, okay, let me draw here. The voltage across the diode. I am not at all drawing the input signal. I am only going to draw this drop across the diode and this output waveform. So this one will be, let us consider this is pi, this is 2s pi, like this. So if we are going to go with this voltage across the diode, it is having a small drop during the conducting state. So we can take out, this is the voltage, this is diode voltage V. What is the peak value of that? It is Im into Rf, right? The peak value will be Im into Rf. For the non-conducting state, the whole Vm sin alpha will come like this. Clear? And same for the other cycles, it will also goes on continue like this. Now the voltage which will appear across the load. So this V out, that is having certain voltage, but it is not at all the whole input been available across the transformer secondary, right? It is having the voltage which is somewhat less than the input. So what will be that? I am just drawing this one for the positive half. This is the peak value. This peak value will be Vm minus Im Rf. This value will be Vm minus Im Rf. And for the negative half, it is completely 0. For the negative half, it is completely 0. Same thing it will goes on continue for the other half as well. So this is the voltage across the diode. Voltage across diode. This is the voltage across load. So if we compare with the initial diagram what we have drawn here, these two diagram parallelly, if we compare, if we do the comparison, what we'll found that whatever the maximum voltage been available at the input, the maximum current is available at the output. But if you go correspondingly with this voltage, the same maximum voltage is not available at the output. Some drop is there, or some voltage is get deducted due to the drop across the diode. So if someone will simply plotted the thing something like that, for the half wave rectifier, the Vm which is been available at the input, the same Vm is available at the output, it is not at all right, because there are certain drop across the diode due to the forward resistance. So simply writing or plotting Vm for this positive half, the same Vm is been available as a half wave output, that is not at all correct. Clear? Now let us find out this voltage across the DC voltmeter or across the terminal of the DC voltmeter, or the voltage across the diode, the reading of the DC voltmeter which is across diode is, that is VDC. So we need to find out the average of that. So for any cycle, this is the voltage for the positive half, this is the voltage for the negative half. So what does it mean? 0 to pi we are having Im RF sin alpha d alpha, plus for this second half, that is from pi to 2s pi, we are having Vm sin alpha d alpha. That is what the average voltage or DC voltage been available across the diode. So let us solve this integration. So if we are going to find out, it has been coming out as 1 by pi Im RF. I am just keeping some intermediate step. You just go with for the verification if you are having any doubt. Then it is 1 by pi. Second step, third step, it is Im, just putting third bracket, Im RF. This Vm can be written as Im RF plus RL, because this Vm is Im RF plus RL. So this Im RF will get cancelled. We are left with minus Im RL by pi. That is what the VDC across the diode. VDC across the diode. So some question will arise, why this VDC across the diode is negative? That is the thing. So if we are having the current IDC been flowing on our circuit, the circuit is like this. This is our secondary winding. We are having the diode and we are having the RL. Let us consider this is our IDC is. Okay. So we supposed to have the voltage drop across this diode. What is that? That is minus Im RL by pi. So what is this Im by pi? Im by pi itself is IDC, right? So we can write this one as minus IDC into RL, right? Because Im by pi we have derived as IDC. So this VDC across this diode, it is the same as the voltage being available across this load. What is that? IDC into RL. Obviously that will be the voltage across this RL if the IDC is flowing. So this voltage which is been available across this diode, it is same as the voltage available across the load, but it is negative. So it is same as the concept. It is quite evident from our concept that across the closed circuit the total voltage sums up as 0. The total voltage across a loop, it will be summing up to 0. So this IDC RL, this voltage plus minus IDC RL, it is equals to 0. So that is what quite evident whatever the concept we are having or we know. So this is up to the voltage. Next, power. Reading of a wattmeter. So the wattmeter, it will indicate the average value of the product of instantaneous current through its current coil and the instantaneous voltage across its potential coil. Okay, so that is what about the description about the wattmeter. No need to go with that. So we need to find out the current, sorry, the power. So the input power PI, the average value of that, right? So that will be 1 by 2s pi, 0 to 2s pi, that is VI. This VI, this is the voltage, this DC voltage across this coil, into I, the AC current which is been available or which is flowing across this circuit, into D alpha. V into I, that is what the power is. So what is this VI? VI is I RF plus RL, and this is only available for 0 to pi, for 0 to pi, because the current is flowing only for this first positive half. So if we go with this value, let us do the integration. I square, if we put this VI, that will be I square RF plus RL D alpha. So that one, okay, let me write another step. This I square will be Im square sin square alpha RF plus RL D alpha. So this Im square sin square alpha D alpha integrating within this limit 0 to pi, that will be our I RMS square. So this Pi, that will be I RMS square RF plus RL. That is the input power which has been given from the secondary winding of the transformer. So what will be the output power? It is same as the IDC square into RL, that is the simple P out, that will be the voltage and the current across this load, that is IDC square into RL. Simply like that we can write. Okay, this IRMS can be written in terms of Im, this IDC can also be written in terms of Im, right? So what will be the efficiency? It is the ratio of the output power to the input power, eta, that is ratio of P out by P in, that is IDC square RL I RMS square RF plus RL. So IDC we know it is Im by pi, that will be Im by pi. IRMS we know it is Im by 2. So if we do the calculation, it will be coming out as, it is coming out as 4. This 4 will go in the numerator, pi will come in the denominator, Im square will get cancelled, and we can write this one as 1 by 1 plus Rf by RL, or this one will be coming out as 0.405 1 by 1 plus Rf by. Now if we can able to neglect this Rf, if this Rf is very very small, then what will be the maximum efficiency is coming out? Eta max, it is 40.5% only for this half wave rectifier. This maximum efficiency of the half wave rectifier is 40.5%. Okay. Now there is a term known as peak inverse voltage, PIV. It is very important. So what is that? The maximum voltage across the diode in the reverse direction. So how much voltage it can withstand, because on the reverse case the voltage, this secondary total voltage is appearing across this diode. So how much maximum reverse voltage this diode can withstand, that is what known as the peak inverse voltage, the maximum reverse voltage which the diode can withstand before breakdown. So for the normal p-n junction diode, breakdown means the complete destruction of the diode. Okay, so that is what known as peak inverse voltage, PIV. So what is it? It is the maximum voltage across the diode in the reverse direction. Okay, we'll find that this value, PI value. Just for the time being, just remember what is that. Now let us solve a simple problem. A diode whose internal resistance is 20 ohm is to supply power to a 1 kilo ohm load from a 110 volt, which is RMS value source, 110 volt source of supply. Calculate first point, the peak load current. B, the DC load current. C, the AC load current. D, the DC diode voltage. E, the total input power to the circuit. So these are the things we need to find out for this problem. So what is the problem? There is a diode which is having the internal resistance of 20 ohm. it will supply power to a 1 kilo ohm load from a 110 volt supply. That is what we are having a diode with the internal resistance of 20 ohm, and it will supply a 1 kilo ohm of load from this supply of 110 volt, which is the RMS value. Okay. So we need to find out these are the different findings. So is there any kind of description about the rectifier circuit, whether it is half wave rectifier, full wave rectifier, anything? No, they have not specified. They only mentioned that a diode whose internal resistance. So whenever this kind of ambiguity will be there, you simply try to find out what are the number of diode been mentioned. If a single diode is mentioned, then you just simply think of the half wave rectifier. Okay, so we have been taking this scenario is having a half wave rectifier. We'll consider a half wave rectifier and we're supposed to solve the problem. So what are the different data which has been provided? VI RMS, which is 110 volt. RF, it is 20 ohm. RL, it is 1 kilo ohm. Okay. So as the RMS input is given, what will be the peak value? We can easily find out that one. Therefore Vm is root 2 into Vrms. It will be 155.56 volt. So this is the peak value of the voltage. Now find out the different findings what has been mentioned. So the peak load current, first is the peak load current. The peak load current. So once we are having this Vm, we can easily find out this Im. Im is Vm by Rf plus RL. Rf is there, RL is there, then we can easily find out. It is 155.56, that will be 1 kilo plus 20, that is 1020. So it is coming out as 152.5 milliamps. B is DC load current. That is IDC. So IDC is for the half wave rectifier, it is Im by pi. So what is that Im? We have already derived. So 152.5 milliamps, that is 10 to the power minus 3 by pi. So just put the numerical value for this. So we'll have 48.54 milliampere. Third is AC load current. AC load current means simply IRMS. What is that IRMS? IRMS for the half wave rectifier, it is Im by 2. 152.5 by 2, that is 76.25 milliampere. D, what is that? DC diode voltage. That is VDC. What is that? Minus IMRL by pi, or simply minus IDC into RL. So IDC This is the value of IDC, RL 1K. So milli and K will get cancelled. So we are having minus 48.54 into 1. We can write like this. So that is minus 48.54 volt. Fifth one is the total input power. Pi is equals to I RMS square into RF plus RL. So I RMS we already been derived, RF plus RL we know. Put all the numerical value, you will find this is as 5.33 watts. Okay, so the numerical problems are quite easy. Once you are having all the data, just use the mathematical expressions for the different components, either it is current, voltage, DC, RMS, whatever. You just go with all the different problems with this. Okay, so I am just concluding for today.